Look up tonight and imagine this. The moon isn't rock and dust, but a glowing sphere of pure electrons. Does it look any different to you? Well, it should, because that's what it would be. But what would really happen? The answer is literally shocking. If the moon made of electrons fell to Earth, it wouldn't just destroy our planet, it would rip our entire solar system to shreds. But how? Welcome to my channel. Our moon is more than just a pretty face in the night sky. It stabilizes Earth, controls tides, and may even have helped life take hold on our planet. But what if this natural satellite was something other than rock and dust? What if it was made of something strange like electrons? It sounds wild, but physicists ponder such things to learn more about the universe. And the answer to this particular question is genuinely alarming. Let's imagine our moon is suddenly composed entirely of negatively charged subatomic particles. What would happen next? Well, immediately, the whole thing would explode. All those electrons packed into a moon-sized ball would literally push themselves apart, blasting outward at nearly the speed of light. But why? Well, electrons carry an electric charge and, like charges, repel one another. If you tried to squeeze a bunch of them together, they'd start pushing away from each other. Electrons inside the moon would do the same, tearing the moon itself apart from the inside out. This explosion would send a massive shock wave of plasma, the fourth state of matter, flying outward, creating electric fields that are billions of times more powerful than lightning. In a blink, the moon would vanish, and Earth would be enveloped by a searing cloud of pure energy. But wait, there's more. As the electron cloud expands outward, it would also form a bubble of sorts around Earth. Nothing could get in or out, and what's inside would be utterly fried. Earth's magnetosphere, which normally protects us from solar wind, would shatter like glass. Satellites orbiting our planet would be obliterated, and even the upper layers of our atmosphere would be stripped away. Suddenly exposed to the vacuum of space, Earth would resemble a charred marshmallow stuck to a red-hot oven rack. But our little electron bomb isn't finished yet. Its destructive power isn't limited to our immediate surroundings. Eventually, the electron cloud would expand past the orbit of Mars, reaching all the way to the Sun. When it hit our star, the energy released would rival that of a small supernova, briefly outshining the Sun and bathing the solar system in eerie light. For months, astronomers light years away would see a bright flash in Earth's orbit and wonder what happened. Then eventually, the electron cloud would reach the outer reaches of the Oort cloud, marking the edge of our planetary system. There, it would finally dissipate into the cold blackness of interstellar space. Back on Earth, survivors would face a world dramatically changed. The moon's gravity once kept Earth's wobble in check, but without it, our planet's tilt would become unstable. Seasons would turn from predictable cycles into chaotic swings between extreme heat and extreme cold. Plants and animals adapted to our moderate climate would struggle to survive. Marine ecosystems would collapse completely as tides, currents, and even Earth's magnetic field rely partly on the moon's gravitational pull. Without it, oceans would still exist, but the waves would be eerily calm, never crashing against the shore. Fish, whales, and coral reefs would perish. Within decades, most ocean-dependent species, including humans, would die out. But before we get too gloomy, let's rewind this electron doomsday scenario back to the beginning. How could our moon, or any rocky body, suddenly become pure energy? Well, one intriguing possibility involves quantum mechanics. You see, at the subatomic level, reality behaves strangely. Particles can be in two places at once, spin faster than light, and even teleport across the universe. Electrons themselves exhibit these bizarre properties. Normally, they're bound to atoms, but under extreme conditions, they can break free and exist independently. That means for a brief moment, you could have a moon made of regular old rock, and then, bam, a moon of pure electrons. But how likely is this electron transformation? Unfortunately, extremely unlikely. Even in the most energetic events in the universe, like supernovas, Electrons only make up a tiny fraction of what you actually see. So rest easy, our moon isn't going to turn into a bomb anytime soon. But what about that strange object hurtling through space toward Earth? What if it isn't a moon at all, but a colossal electron beam fired from distant stars? It sounds like science fiction, but scientists believe beams of charged particles may shape galaxies, and some researchers think a long-sought phenomenon called a gamma-ray burst, or GRB, could cause our moon to transform. GRBs are among the most energetic explosions in the cosmos, releasing more energy in a day than the Sun will over its entire 10 billion-year lifespan. They occur when a massive star goes supernova, or when two highly magnetized objects like neutron stars collide. Some astronomers speculate that GRBs could dislodge a chunk of rock from a nearby star like Alpha Centauri. If it struck Earth, the impact could momentarily turn part of our moon into electrons. Then again, the odds of getting hit by a GRB are incredibly low, and even if it happened, the effects would be temporary. Soon enough, the moon would revert to normal. Still, it makes for an interesting thought experiment. What if a GRB did strike Earth and our moon turned into pure electrons? Well, it would all begin with a blinding flash as the electron cloud expanded outward. The shock wave would fry everything on Earth, destroy satellites, and disrupt global communications. But here's where things get weird. The electron cloud would keep expanding, forming a bubble that trapped people on Earth and blocked radio signals from reaching out into space. No one would know the moon had turned into an electron cloud until long after the explosion. Once the cloud reached the moon's orbit, the real damage would begin. The electron shell would tear apart, sending blasts of plasma crashing into Earth. These electron bombs would annihilate all life on the planet, leaving nothing but scorched landscapes and dead stars. Then the cosmic fallout would begin. The electron cloud would spread across the solar system, stripping away gas from planets and moons and forming a vast cocoon around the sun. Radiation would pour from the cocoon, turning night into day and scorching anything that dared venture too close. On Earth, a thick cloud of debris would block the sun's rays, plunging our planet into darkness and freezing everything in sight. In the vacuum of space, the electron cloud would leave a path of destruction stretching to the very edge of the Oort cloud. Along the way, it would outshine the sun, briefly making Earth the brightest star in the night sky. Finally, the electron cloud would dissipate into the cold emptiness of interstellar space, leaving behind a swath of dead worlds. In the aftermath, the solar system would be a graveyard of charred rocks and extinguished stars. The once vibrant planets would become barren wastelands, frozen in time. Even the sun would be shrouded in a thick layer of radiation, unable to shine its light on empty planets below. Any life that did manage to survive the initial blast would face a future of eternal darkness and frigid temperatures. Plants would wither, animals would freeze, and humanity would be left to wander a frozen wasteland. And that's just for starters. Long-term effects would include intense solar radiation exposure leading to widespread genetic mutations. The ozone layer would be destroyed, offering no protection from deadly UV rays. Survivors would face a future of constant radiation poisoning and skin cancer. Plus, without the stabilizing influence of the moon, Earth's axis would continue to wobble. Summers would be scorching. Winters would be brutal, and storms would rage out of control. Agriculture would fail, starvation would spread, and the human race would teeter on the brink of extinction. In short, replacing the moon with an electron cloud would spell disaster for Earth. But luckily, it's just a hypothetical scenario. The moon isn't going to turn into a bomb anytime soon. Maybe. Thanks for watching.